Welcome to Aligning HR Strategy with Business Strategy, presented by Kimberly Weldin. The purpose of this presentation is to explain ways in which an organization can turn their HR department into a strategic partner with the business side of the organization, including balancing administrative tasks so that they may keep as many in-house as possible. Every organization, whether large or small, should have an organizational strategy to help them reach their business goals. No matter how the organizational strategy is structured, the way in which HR strategies interact with the organizational strategy will determine how successful it is, as well as the systems needed to support it. The role of HR has shifted in many organizations due to globalization, economic crises, and many other factors. Because of this role change, HR functions have shifted as well. Many organizations are analyzing all organizational functions in order to cut costs, increase organizational efficiency, maximize profitability, and sustain growth. The HR function is in a difficult position because it must simultaneously serve as the face of an organization's employees, as well as the face of management to those same employees. The HR function must carefully balance these roles while it aligns HR strategies with the strategies of the organization. What does the future of HR look like? The future of HR looks different in that HR professionals will focus on developing strategic skills. HR will require less administration skills and instead focus heavily on strategic analysis and system design skills. This shift will give HR professionals more opportunities for working as strategic partners within an organization. The question is, how do HR professionals seize these strategic opportunities, particularly when they have traditionally maintained an administrative role? One of the main ways in which an HR department can work as a strategic partner in an organization is by aligning its HR strategies with the goals of an organization. There are many ways in which HR can balance its administrative tasks with an organizational strategy. One way is by developing HR systems and processes that support the organization's goals. The HR function should have systems and strategies that are flexible and coordinated with the overall guidelines of the organization. Another way HR can balance its administrative tasks while simultaneously working as a strategic partner to an organization is by outsourcing. What is HR outsourcing? Outsourcing can include anything from payroll taxes, employee benefit administration, regulatory compliance, unemployment claims, workers' compensation, and many other administrative services. The following chart shows some common reasons that organizations outsource HR functions. As you can see, one of the major reasons is to reduce and control costs. Many organizations today are outsourcing their human resources needs to professional employer organizations in order to cut costs, manage risks, and streamline administrative operations. When an organization outsources time-consuming administrative functions, then they will have more time available for contributing developing strategies that support an organization's goals. HR outsourcing allows opportunities for passing on administrative and employee-focused tasks so that HR can focus on strategy and change. HR outsourcing organizations help organizations to stay compliant with legal matters and other important issues. For example, many organizations today are outsourcing HR functions to ensure that they are compliant with the Affordable Care Act. Outsourcing HR functions means that more time can be spent working on key challenges like benefits, communication, and wellness. Benefits of outsourcing include increased efficiency, cost savings through reduced staffing and other factors, as well as reduced risk, especially around issues involving legal compliance. An organization should view the HR outsourcing organization they use as a risk management service and business partner, because while the outsourcing organization does relieve administrative burdens, they must work together in order to be effective. Challenges of outsourcing. Communication can be a major challenge of outsourcing. For example, since many outsourcing programs encourage employees to go online to complete forms or call vendors directly, the HR staff may have to continuously work to encourage employees to use self-service options. Communication with the outsourcing provider is also a challenge. HR must continue to communicate with the providers they are using for outsourcing and make sure they are working together towards the same goals. Reduced employee morale can also be a challenge of outsourcing. It is also a challenge when beginning to outsource and reduce staff. It's important to ensure employee morale is not damaged in this process. HR can use this challenge to act as a strategic partner with the organization by focusing on positively influencing the employees by developing HR systems that focus on the individual. In order to remain competitive, an organization needs to adjust its staffing level and will need to be both flexible and organized. When an organization outsources HR functions to downsize, it is important to consider how many HR employees the organization needs. For example, companies with less than 1,000 employees will have about 3 to 5 benefit staff members, while companies with more than 10,000 employees will have up to 11 benefit staff members. In order to turn your HR department into a strategic partner with the organization, there are several important decisions that need to be made. My recommendations are as follows. My first recommendation is to outsource some HR administrative tasks, especially those requiring specialized expertise around legal issues. My second recommendation is to maintain a healthy HR employee-to-employee ratio. For example, a company with 300 employees would be effective with 5 or less HR employees. Although the outsourcing function does help the HR function by relieving administrative burdens, it is important to remember that the organization does not make the mistake of assuming this will be effective without their input. The HR department will need to work as a strategic partner to the organization and measure how the outsourcing is helping the organization achieve its goals. In one example of how this worked successfully, the VP of HR of the Prudential Foundation reported that when the company began outsourcing a significant number of its HR administrative tasks, such as payroll, staffing, and benefits management, they were able to reduce their HR costs by almost 40%. They were also additionally able to save the company $9 million on the run rate. Although it was a hard decision for the company to make initially because they had to reduce staff, the outsourcing reduced their costs, and it allowed the company to refocus its energies on becoming more of a strategic partner. In closing, in order to turn an HR department into a strategic partner with an organization, a lot of changes must be made. It is crucial to link HR with the key organizational goals to increase productivity, cut costs, manage change rapidly, and operate in the global marketplace. The business benefits of outsourcing strategies are well documented, and HR is encouraged to outsource in order to add organizational value. It will not only relieve the HR department from many burdensome administrative tasks, but it will also allow HR to work as a strategic partner by providing the time and information they need. However, many factors will need to be considered prior to outsourcing HR functions, including the organization's goals as well as the overall size of the organization. No matter the outsourcing HR strategy chosen, in order to move towards a more strategic role, HR must always remain flexible and adapt to the organizational goals and changes as needed. Thank you for watching.